Now, amid rising security threats in Nigeria, governments, agencies are re-engineering policies to strengthen national safety and resilience in terms of insecurity threats. Officials say the reforms aim to anticipate evolving risks, streamline response mechanisms, and improve coordination among the military, police, and intelligence services. New strategies focus on intelligence sharing, technological upgrades, and community engagement to prevent threats before they escalate. Experts stress that adaptive policies are crucial to addressing Nigeria's complex security challenges, from insurgency to organized crime.
Now let's bring in Professor Omotayo, who is the Director General of the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies. Welcome to the program. Thanks for joining us. So the organization that you have...
Thank you. Good morning.
The organization that you have, the vision is for the center to be a policy research and reflection institute for Nigeria as a whole. With regard to insecurity, has your institute provided research policy recommendation to the government? And if it has done that, how can you say, or can you say it has been categorically helpful to the government in the light of all that we are facing today in Nigeria?
Well, thank you very much for that question. The National Institute exists to support government with policies and strategies for implementing, looking at national issues and implementing programs that will help to make the Nigerian society a better one. On the matter of insecurity, I can assure you that the National Institute has at various times sent papers to government on what we can do about national security. We have held conferences, we have held workshops, and we have always advised government based on what the findings of our researches are concerning the security in the country. So the National Institute has played its role in advising government. However, you must understand that security situations are always very dynamic. It's an ever-changing world, and of course, the bad guys also change with the times. And as to whether what we have advised have worked, well, for a long time since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into power, you would agree with me that the spate of banditry, terrorism, and the rest had stopped. So to a large extent, I would say that some of the advices we have given in the past have worked. But then, with what we are currently experiencing, the National Institute is alive to its responsibilities. We have also recently concluded another set of work that we have sent to government. We are still going to send more as we find evidence and as we research and see new things that we can advise government about. So for the National Institute, we have done our own path. Don't forget that the National Institute is not an implementing body. We think for government, and then we use all that we have to advise government on how to implement some of the strategies that we offer. Okay, well, and I believe that with what is currently going on here, this spate of banditry will also pass. Yes. This is deeper than the normal thing, and well, I'm sure it's just a passing phase.
Right, which leads me to my next question, which is concerning the school abductions that we've been seeing in the nation lately. How should Nigeria's security policy better protect schools in these type of situations?
Yeah, let me say that there are many schools in Nigeria, many of them, they count thousands of them. And if you look at what government has done, it's been like, they know where the security threat is more pronounced, and that is where they have tried to safeguard. And of course, the bad guys will continue to look at the soft underbellies concerning of these schools in terms of their location, in terms of how easy it is going to be for them to abduct children, and go. So the safe school policies for a long time, I mean up to now, until the last school abduction, we could say has actually worked. And I'm sure those who are in charge of it will rejig their methods, and I'm sure that this will also pass. One thing I can assure you is that the security agencies are not sleeping. Security agencies are putting in their efforts, and sometimes they can catch them by surprise. It is only when banditry occurs or when an abduction occurs that we hear the stories of, oh, they've abducted our children again. But we do not even hear the stories of the number of foiled attempts by our security agencies. We have to keep encouraging them. They may not come out to say, we have foiled this, we have foiled that, we have foiled this, we have foiled that. But they have done a whole lot, and I'm sure that this current one probably is just like one getting through the park.
Okay. Professor Omotayo, the DG, National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies. When looking at you as the head of the federal government think tank in terms of policy formulation, there seems to be a massive policy slop in federal government driving this agenda, especially again amidst the insecurity threat. One, the issue of state policing has been suggested long ago, and it seems taking a psychoanalysis of the president's posture on this, it leaves a lot of uncertainty. And also, you look at so many issues like what the former chief of defense staff raised about the funding of these terrorists. This is a practice that have been left to graze for more than 15 years. So why is it so difficult for us to track down the funding chain of these terrorist activities?
Well, on the funding side, as an institute, we have not studied the funding side. We have looked at it holistically. Whether the fund, how terrorists get their funding, that one is very clear. I'm aware that federal government does not take for granted the funding for the security agencies. Given the budgetary positions of government, they've done the best they can do. I know these things. So it will not be too right to say that government has not done enough in terms of funding. Like I said, these are dynamic situations. People will sometimes politicize this. Some people are not even serious about what they are doing. They just want to embarrass government, and they will do what they want to do. So Nigerians must look at these things that is very a complex. Is a complex issue, has political undertones, has economic undertones. For us at the National Institute, we've been talking about, okay, if it's actually a matter of some sections of the country being aggrieved. For the past 3 years, we have been running courses on non-kinetic actions, and the Nigerian security forces have bought into that because they know it's not all about carrying guns and killing your citizens. Okay. Those who commit these things are still Nigerian citizens. Some are not, but you can't kill a whole lot of communities if you can't find who exactly the bad guys are. So for policies are there. For implementation, I believe the security forces are trying their best.
All right, Prof. Thank you so much. We're pressed for time, but one quick last question. The world over, think tanks are taken very seriously because of the policy recommendations and research that they do that is important for government. Can I ask you to put your think tank hat on and let us know what you think about the renewed engagement between the U.S. and Nigeria on security issues, and what you also think about that Christian tag genocide? Very quickly, please.
Well, we have a very responsible government, and I know that Nigeria as a country will not take U.S. for granted. U.S. is perhaps the most powerful country in the world, and when it raises a concern, a responsible government has to respond to that. And I'm sure that in the past few days, federal government has done the right thing. They've sent a delegation to the United States, and I'm sure we are having meetings everywhere to ensure that we engage the United States and ensure that they understand what exactly is going on. For us at the National Institute, we always want to have evidence of what is going on. We conducted, we brought together Christian youths, Christian leaders all over the North. We asked questions. I mean, we asked them to tell us exactly what they feel about being insecure as Christians in their various areas. And they concluded that they don't feel threatened as Christians. Their communities may be threatened, but they are not targeted because basically they are Christians. Those who target them
Professor
Omotayo,
it's
Muslims.
quite unfortunate.
Yes.
We are pressed for time. We're sure to have you, to engage you more time on, because we know we are yet to tap enough of information in terms of policy formulation from you as the head of the nation's think tank, the Director General of the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies. Thank you so much for making our time to join us on Daybreak. And that's all we have time for here on Daybreak. I'm Benga Ashiru. It's goodbye from me.
And I'm Constance Ikoku. Thanks for joining us on Daybreak today.
And I'm Yolanda Robert. Please do keep it here on Arise News. The morning show is next. Goodbye.